Yeah, because it is a true honor for me to be able to introduce Nick Zwart. Yeah, we have been working together in different European projects for, I think, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was with Tila, it was with Tekola, and now in eLife. Nick Zwart is really an excellent colleague. He's so passionate about the things he does, and he has been building the virtual worlds for us and for you, for the teachers. Yeah. In the past, we used a different virtual worlds. We had a workshop on that. One of the teachers presented the experiences he carried out with his students in German using Open Simulator, and now we are presenting a different virtual world, which is also connected to VR, virtual reality, and the name is Frame. And Nick has been building there also very, very nice things for you to use with your pupils, with your students. So my pleasure, Nick, to introduce you. And
Thank
I would
you.
say now the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Christy. Well, I'm the speaker for today, Nick Zwart. You can see here my name. I work at 3D LES. It's my own company. And I'm project partner for this eLife project and also in the past projects, which Christy already mentioned. But my work is mainly technical, so I don't teach. I don't work at the university. I don't know about pedagogical things, but I do know about software and hardware and running servers and building stuff in 3D. And please note that this recording will be, this session will be recorded. So we'll start with the menu for today. We have done. I'm going to talk about the workshop protocol. Then I'm going to explain what is FrameVR, how we use it in the eLife project, and things you can do in FrameVR as a teacher, and what you can do when you are there with students. Then we take the next steps. So what can you do after this session? And I will take some questions then. And after the questions, I will do the hands-on in FrameVR. So you will receive a link from me where you can log in the virtual environment. But I will explain everything about that. And I'm sure you will be very enthusiastic after the presentation first. Okay, first the workshop protocols. Please mute your microphones. The buttons are at the bottom of your screen. Keep your camera off. Well, that's okay. I don't only see my own camera. If you have any questions, just ask them in the public chat and or comments, and we will answer questions at the end of the workshop in the Q&A. And if you have a question by then, you can also raise your hand if you want to intervene. So what is FrameVR? Well, as they state themselves at Frame, on their website, they say Frame is a web-based platform that lets you communicate and collaborate in 3D spaces as avatars from a browser, on a desktop, on mobile, or VR. And besides voice chat and text chat and webcams and screen share, Frame lets you customize your 3D space with many different things and kinds of contests. And that is very interesting. So a 3D space, communicate and collaborate in the 3D space. People that have been in a game can be an island and whatever. But this is not a game, but it's a 3D space that looks a bit like a game. If you see here, this is one of the spaces that we as eLife project are using, and it's a island with our head office over there and some places where you can have meetings, and and it's all in 3 dimensions. That's a 3D space. And this 3D space you can enter using a Chrome browser or a Brave browser, and I think also other browsers will work, but you can enter using your PC or your Mac or a Chromebook. And you can enter with VR headsets, and you can enter with an iPhone or an Android phone, and you can even use VR on your Android phone. So there's a lot to do with this. So you don't have to use your PC anymore. You can still go online with your other devices, and especially VR headsets. It's very interesting. You can go online with for instance, the Meta Quest 2, and also the Pico headsets, which are quite affordable. You can use them without installing additional software. So you don't have to install anything on your device. The only thing you need is a browser. If you want to visit a Frame environment, you do not need an account. You can just follow the link, fill in your name, and click on connect. So you will be a guest in this environment, and we advise everybody to fill in, and don't leave it as a guest name, but fill in your own name and then connect. So what can you do with no account? You can visit environments, you can interact with users, you can use your microphone, you can use webcam, you can interact with the content which is available, you can even customize your avatar, but you cannot save your avatar. So when you leave the environment because you were a guest, then these settings of your avatar will not be saved. So if you want to save your avatar, you really need to have an account. And as a guest, you cannot place a content, so you can't put things in there. And if you have an account, sometimes it's possible to put things in the environment, like images and so on. But I'll explain that later. But if you are a guest, you cannot do that. Well, one thing it's good to know: there is no data stored. So they don't store your name, they don't store anything when you are a guest. When you are a user with an account, then also very limited data is stored. They don't store the text chat. They don't store things where your IP address or whatever. It's nothing is stored, and only your email address and your password to log in. That's all. At eLife, we have created some spaces. I have created 4 language villages, and these are Chatterdale, Parole, Villa Charla, and Plauderstein for 4 different languages. And I've created 3 islands, which are actually islands that with pre-made environments that are from Frame themselves, these bottom 3. But the top 3 are islands that we also had in Open Simulator, and I try to rebuild them here in Frame. Only I rebuild them a bit smaller so that it's also possible for iPhones to load it. The language villages all have 5 to 6 buildings in that, and they can be filled with content like images and videos, etc. And I will explain that later. The last area I've been working on is the eLife project is Arcadia, and it's an orientation island where you can follow instructions which are on boards and signs, so you can learn how to work with FrameVR. It is filled with signs and links to videos. And by walking through the castle, you will find all these instructions. And that's also nice for students to walk around in. And at the end of this presentation, we will all go to this area, Arcadia. So all the areas that I showed can be visited without an account if they are open for the visitors, because the owner or the admin of an area can also close it for instance, to put a password on it, which is very handy when you are working with your students on it. Then you can put a password and give it to the students, and then this area is only for you. On our website, you can find a list of all the links to these areas. Now, when you create an account on FrameVR, you have more rights to do things. You can create your own personal avatar. You can add content in some existing areas, but only if that is made possible by the admin of the area. And you can have 3 personal areas, 3 islands you can have yourself for free. The user account that you create is already free, but also you can have 3 personal environments. I'll tell you a bit about that later on. The personal avatar has 3 types. You can be an Android and the only thing you can change is the color. Here you see it's blue, but you can also have a red robot or a blue robot or a purple or whatever. The second version you can select is a human, and the human you can choose hairstyle and color and glasses and clothing, and so there's a bit more to style. And the last one is the Ready Player Me avatar. They have Frame has put this in it just a few months ago. And the Ready Player Me avatar is an external website that offers avatars for all kinds of projects, and it's also working in FrameVR. But for now, it's only the head that you see, because it takes a lot of resources from the computer if you use also full body avatars with arms and legs and so on. Maybe in future that will change, I'm not sure. But you have a lot of choices that you can make in Ready Player Me to make a beautiful avatar. And if you look at this beautiful man over here, that looks totally different than the human I created before the before Ready Player Me came. Okay, you can place your own content. And what does that mean? Well, I have created, for instance, a village called Chatterdale. And in this Chatterdale village, you see an empty shop. This is an empty shop. And within this empty shop, I have created objects to make it look like a fish and chips. So you say, I imported some images, placed them on the walls, and also I put a presenter here so that students can see what the assignment is on this in this village, in this building. And also in the this building here in Villa Charla was empty, and I have changed it into the Horchateria de Santa Catalina, which is in Valencia, which I have been visiting several times with this beautiful horchata. It's so good. And I really had to build this in the virtual environment. So you can, as a teacher, you can do this all by yourself. You can import the image and then stick it on a wall, and you can import many more things. Now, what can you place in your environment, in any environment? I already told you, you can place images in there. So here on the board, I put this welcome to Chatterdale village. That's just an image that I've created. But you can, if you have a nice poster for in a village, like here, J'ai brûlé 1200 calories. J'ai brûlé. Well, okay, well, I'm not going to pronounce that because I know there's a French teacher. You can also import videos. And these videos, they play synchronous. So if you start the video, then all users that are standing around this video will see the same video starting and stopping. And so that is nice if you are working with a group. You can also import MP3 audio files. So you can start and stop audio files to have, for instance, an explanation, or you want a sentence pronounced in a special language, then you can upload this as an MP3 file in the world. You can have polls. I found out that you can only have one poll at the moment in one area. So, well, it's a start, and maybe there will be more in future. What's also very interesting is that you can have a presentation as a PDF, and you can import them, and then you can switch with the blue buttons at the left and right. You can switch between the different slides, like like I'm doing now actually in this big blue button session. That can also be done in the virtual world. And sometimes the students won't see these buttons, the blue arrows, because you can set the environment so that there's not an interaction with the material that's there. So only the teacher will see these blue buttons. But you can also set it, then everybody can see it. Because when you enter Arcadia later on, you will see also this presentation, and you will see that the blue buttons are also available for you. But you can set them, switch them off. There is also a possibility to have a synchronized web page, and this means that you can have a real life web page where you can scroll, you can switch to, you can open other pages and stuff. You can even watch a YouTube video. But the big advantage is that all the viewers that are inside, and all the users will see the same. They see that you will scroll. They see that you select another page. They see, and they will also hear you starting your YouTube. So that's a very handy thing for presentations. There are streaming screens, and with the streaming screen you can share your webcam, so you can see. I will show that later on when we're there. You can share a webcam of yourself, and they will also hear you on the microphone. You can also share your screen, so you can share information that you have on your computer, or you can also start a video from there. You can import 3D objects, and of course, and very people that build 3D stuff, they would say, "Oh, great! And I can build 3D objects and then put them in." But you can also import 3D objects from Sketchfab, which is also free, and they have a lot of free content. So to make 3D objects very interesting in your virtual environment. And there are also the possibilities to create text labels and text areas. And a text label, this is, for instance, a link to Learn FrameVR IO. If you find something like this in the virtual world, then it's a link, which I just put there as a text label. And the user only has to click on it. And then, for instance, a web page will open with information from FrameVR. Or click for a YouTube video. That's possibilities. And actually all things like also the images and the 3D objects, they are all possible to have links on them. So you can link to an object, or do a link to a website or YouTube video, but you can also link to another virtual environment or to a spot somewhere in the environment. There's more. You can have a whiteboard, so you can cooperate with all the students to create something nice, and you can even save it. And well, that's really nice for cooperation. It's a possibility to use 360 photospheres, and the 360 photosphere is actually a picture that is created all around. Like when you are in Google Earth, you can be on the street and look around you. That this is also the same. You can have a picture and import them as a 360 photosphere, and then it can be used, for instance, to make a sky around you. Like you will see in Arcadia, I have a beautiful sky with clouds. And here on this picture, you see a sky in the evening, and the ball that you see is the photosphere that we have to trigger. What's also very interesting for language education is the voice zones. And in every building I have created in the language villages, I created every voice zone around every building. This means when you walk into this voice zone, then you can only hear the people that are in this voice zone. And you can have discussions with them without people that are outside of this building hearing you. And also the text chat can be selected also for only just that zone, which is very handy for language education, of course. And you can create these yourself. So if you have an area where you want to make a voice zone, there's it's quite easy to do that. And then you will see these blue lines around it. And when you step into it, you hear a sound, and also the blue line will then turn green. It's also possible to import shapes in it, but I'm not really sure what to do with that for language villages. But maybe you have any idea. I hope you get a lot of ideas from this. Slide 17. If you are online with others, you can communicate using a microphone and a webcam. You can set the environment that if when a user enters, the microphone will be muted. They can activate it later. Like you went into a big blue button and the microphones were muted automatically. that same can be done there, and then all that enter there will see that their microphone is muted because they have a red microphone. They slash through it, and if they click on that, then the microphone will turn blue, and then you can talk. If a webcam is enabled, that's this little button here, then there will be a web screen next to the avatar, as you can see over here. Oh, I have to save the sweater on. And so they only see it when you are turned with your avatar towards the other avatar. If you turn around, then you don't see the webcam. And there is also a thing that is very handy here, the megaphone, because when you talk with others in this area, in this virtual environment, and you walk away, then the volume will go lower until you hear nothing anymore. But if you use the megaphone as a teacher, then your voice will be heard all over the complete area in the same volume. So if you want to address to everybody, if you want to speak to, say something, then you use your megaphone. That's if you work with students. But there is more. If you work with students, you can mute others. So if there is a big conversation and you want to stop this conversation, you just click on mute others, and all microphones will shut down, only not yours. And then you can use, for instance, your megaphone and start talking to everybody because you have a important message for them. You can, for instance, set also in the environment that mic should be off by default. That's what I did already. And also you can enable or disable private voice zones. So for instance, if when somebody is in a private voice zone talking with others and you want to shut them down because you need to say a general thing, that you can shut the private voice zones off. Now, if a user needs some help, then where do you find him if he is somewhere in another corner of the environment? Then you can go to the list of users, and then you can click on Go to Users, and then you will be teleported to this user. So you can. So if a student asks, "Oh, I'm here looking at a bird, and what kind of bird it is? Can you please help me? I'm stuck," or whatever. Then you can go there. And there is also a button, very handy for the teacher. It's called Gather to Me. And Gather to Me, then all users will receive a message that they will be moved to a peer's location in 5 seconds. They can either click on Go Now, so they will go directly, or they wait 5 seconds and they will be teleported anyway. And then you can gather around them for a discussion. Very handy. There's also a built-in screen capture. So conversations can be recorded without the need of an extra piece of software. And this can only be done by users that have an account. So if you don't have an account, if you, for instance, ask a student, well, record your conversation, then this student needs an account to do this. And then you can start a screen capture. And I did this last week also, and the screen captures are quite big because for 20 minutes it captured something about over 3 gigabytes or something. So it mustn't be very long, but it's possible. Okay, if you have an account, you can have 3 personal environments for free. In every environment, you can have only 15 users running around. And if you want more, you have to get a paid account. So 15 is just for the free accounts. And so there is, for instance, if you pay 50 euros a month, you can have one environment extra where you can have 50 users on. But they are changing all this, and there maybe will be also something like from 25 or whatever. I'm not sure. They're not ready yet. I hope they would be ready now, but they're not ready yet. But you can anyway. You can have 3 personal environments that you yourself can create for free, and also fill it with every information that you would like. How can you do that? Well, FrameVR has created a lot of environments to choose from. So from these 3 environments, you can choose out of 22, and that could be more. At the moment, there are 22 pre-made spaces. And it's also possible to upload your own environment like we did with the 4 language villages. But that needs a lot of technical skills. And yeah, you have to find somebody with these technical skills. But you already have these 22 pre-made spaces, and there's a school, there is an island. Look, here is a beautiful island that you can use. A school building, something like a fair. This is nice. Oh, a Zen garden. So there's a lot of things to do to find out, and it's very simple. You just go there, and I've made videos about this, how you can select all these different spaces. I created these 4. These Chatterdale and Parolé and Villa Charla and Plauderstein. These are uploaded environments that I've created myself. And also these 4 you can use. So if you want, for instance, one of these villages to use, let me know and I will help you. So you can upload these one of these 4. Now, I have already gave you a lot of information and there is so much to learn. If you want to learn more about how to work with FrameVR, I have created a page on our website about FrameVR. You find it in under our tools here. And all information can be found here, including a page with a lot of tutorial videos. It's also in there. And all these videos are also available on our YouTube channel. You see here already 19, but today I finished the 26th video. And they explain everything, like how you can log in as a guest, how you use an Oculus Quest, how you create an account, how you move around. Very simple things, but also how you add video, how you add images, how do you add audio, how do you restrict your access in Frame. So that's very interesting for us a teacher to know. And they're all short videos, about 2-3 minutes. So it's just a topic to read or to see and listen to. And you can also see all these videos in Arcadia. I have created a lot of information in Arcadia, like here, for instance, you see this sign, assets in inventory. Well, and I explain a little bit, and then we explain it in the video. And then if you click on this button, the assets in inventory button, then at the left corner of your screen, there will be an embedded video that you can start. And then you can actually see the same video as we have on YouTube or on our website, but with the instructions about assets and inventory. And the whole island is full of these signs with buttons to link to videos. I see here that Betul says that is too much for Turkish currency. I know it's a lot of money, 50 euros a month, but luckily you can use 3 islands for free, and with 15 users, that's already a start. One thing you should know is that FrameVR is still in beta testing. Sometimes things don't work like they should. Most of the time, it just needs a reload of the page because sometimes the audio doesn't work very well. You don't hear anything, or you don't see another avatar. So then just reload the page and start again, and then it probably will work better. I have close contact with the people from Frame, with the developers. And if we have new ideas, then sometimes it's the new idea will be in a new version. And if we have bugs, they solve the bugs within a week. So it's but if you run into a problem, just do a reload, and then it will be better. Well, these are the things that I wanted to say, but now you're going to experience it yourself. You have been learning about FrameVR in Arcadia that you're going to do. You can create an account as soon as you are ready to create, but you still don't have to create one. You can go into Frame as a guest and then just fill in your name, but later on you can create your account. All information can be found on our website in videos. We're going to play around and create your own area. I hope you're going to do that in future. So when you have created your account, if you're going to and you've checked out all the videos, then you can create your own area. You fill it with information. Everything is on our website. Everything is on YouTube. So and if you want more help, just contact us or me, so I can help you with that. So these are the steps that you have to take. But first, we're going to go into Arcadia. But before we go to Arcadia, I want you to give you an opportunity to ask questions. And well, Betul already asked the question. But if you have any questions, then type it in the chat message. And if there are no questions, then I will go further. But I wait for a little moment to see if there is. I don't think there will be a question. Then we will. Oh, the tool is typing. What do students think about it in general? Well, we didn't have students in here really yet. This is quite new. And we know that students already, we've used to work with students in another environment called Open Simulator in the previous project, and they were very enthusiastic about it. And some of the students were very happy that they didn't have to go online with their webcam, because then now they could be an avatar. Because when you're a bit shy and you are talking to, for instance, when I am talking to somebody in Spain and I'm a bit shy, I'd better hide behind an avatar. So for shy people, this is really something very good, because you can have your own avatar and not show your face. So that's one of the things that I found with students in the previous versions that we used. Okay. I think we will go to the next slide. We will go to Arcadia. Okay, I hope you have a Chrome browser, but you can try to do it with your own browser also. Please, when you see this here, then fill in your name and don't leave it as guest, because when we have 6 guests running around, then we don't know who's who. And then you can click on the blue connect button. And since we don't have, there will be 14 spots left. And we are not with 14 people, so that's okay. You can click this blue connect. In future, you can also use spectate, and spectate, you can join as a spectator. So you can have actually not 15, but 30 people going into the virtual environment. So 15 extra, but these people don't have an avatar. But they still can interact with all the objects that are in there, but they don't have an avatar. They can't use the microphone also. So, but they can do chat. The chat typing, text chat is possible for these people, and they can walk around and click on things. So it's a bit different. So I'm gonna now in the link in the text, I will give you a link, which is a link to the Arcadia Island with a hashtag presentation, which brings you not to the starting area of Arcadia, but to the presentation area. And you can follow this link, and I will meet you there, because my avatar is already there. And then I will close this big blue button so that you can go into the other one. See you there, I hope. So you can see my avatar is in front of the presentation screen. And there are still some people coming in. If you look at the top left of your screen, you see a black button called People. And if you click on that, you can see the whole list of people that just came in. And
I see somebody is already trying my presenter. That's good. So you can see that's working. And I will also show you my webcam. Where is it? Share my webcam with you so you can see my face on top of this presenter. You can also try your microphone if you want to talk. Please do that. And I see Begonia already sent some pictures to here by clicking on the icon of the emoticons. So, well, here you see this presenter. You see also the screen with my webcam. And what I want you to do now is this island. There is a special start area where you can go to, and if you go to this start area, then you can learn how to walk around and click on things and so on. It's a special trail, and I hope you all hear me. And I see guest M coming in. I see Begonia. So what you should do now is you click and go to the where is it there? No, on the other side there at the bottom of this screen you see click to go to the start area. And if you click on that, you will start at the beginning of Arcadia, and there you can. Yeah, I see already some jumping there, and there you can start experiencing the whole island, walk around, and opening the videos and starting audio files, and all information is on the signs. Just go there, and maybe you'll be inspired with it. And this can also all be done with your students if you like, because in future you can go in here with your students and let them walk around and do the same thing that I have done with you. So I say, go ahead and explore. Click on the start area button here below the screen. I see already some people are at the starting area, and it shows how to walk, and then you can go to the next sign, or you can walk around to other areas. And don't hesitate to ask questions in the chat if you have any questions.
Welcome to Arcadia. This is a video that you can play back here. This type of video is not used a lot, because you can only upload up to 500 megabytes of video files on your account. Most of the time you will see links to videos on YouTube, like the one you see left of this video. This is great. You started the audio file, so now you can hear the next video. You can stop this audio file by clicking on the blue square. Arcadia. This is a video that you can play back here. This type of video is not used a lot, because you can only YouTube, like the one you see left of this video. So click on the video button to check the next video.